Let us first study about cellular structure. The bodies of living things are made up of cells. Cells are very, very small. The number of cells varies depending upon the size of the body. Amoeba, paramecium, chlorella, yeast are living things made up of just one cell each. Such living things are called unicellular living things. The living things which are made up of many cells are called multicellular living things. The bodies of man, horse, bird, the guava tree are made of many, many cells. Having a cellular structure is a characteristic of living things. A stone, car, bicycle, umbrella are non-living things. Non-living things do not have a cellular structure. Next characteristic of living things is movement. You know that a fish swims in water, a frog leaps, a butterfly flies, and people walk. The actions of swimming, leaping, flying, walking are all called movement. All living things move of their own accord. Animals can move from one place to another. This is called locomotion. What about the movement in plants? Plants also move. They make some movement but do not change their place. For example, a climber moves towards a support. Do non-living things move? If a stone is kept in a certain place, it will remain there for years together. It cannot move by itself. It will only move when someone moves it. If moved to another place, it will remain in the new place. It means that non-living things do not move of their own accord. If your team wins a game, you raise the trophy high and jump for joy. If you stub your toe, you cannot help squealing, ouch! Your mouth waters at the sight of tamarinds or slices of raw mangoes. The squealing, the watering of your mouth are examples of a living thing giving a response to a stimulus. Let us see how living things respond to the stimuli. Let us learn about this characteristic through activity. Take a glass test tube. Wrap its lower half in a black paper. Place the test tube horizontally. Place an earthworm in it and close its mouth. Keep the test tube just like this in the sun. Observe it every little while. You will see that the earthworm moves towards the part of the test tube wrapped in a black paper. That is, it moves towards the dark part away from the light. The earthworm responded to the sunlight by moving of its own accord towards the darkness. When you have completed your observation, let the earthworm out into a moist patch of soil. Now let's see how plants respond to the stimuli. Take a potted plant. Place it near a window and take good care of the plant. Observe the plant for 15 days. You will see the plant kept in the room bend towards the light that comes in from the window. In other words, the plant responds to the light. You must have seen the roots of plants growing towards a source of water. This, too, is a response given by the plant. From these examples, we see that when living things receive a stimulus from something in their surroundings, they respond to it. This characteristic of living things is called responsiveness to stimuli. While stitching on a button, If you prick yourself with a needle, a sound like "sss" will escape you spontaneously. We see a drooping of mimosa plant if it is touched. What if a needle pricks a stone? Will the stone respond like us? No. Non-living things lack the ability to respond to stimuli. We see living things growing day by day. Growth is one of the important characteristics of living things. We see small plants and animals around us growing bigger day by day. You must have seen a kitten growing up or a seedling growing taller every day. Animals grow for a definite period of time. A human being grows from birth till he or she is 18 to 25 years of age. There is no time limit to the growth of plants. They keep growing as long as they live. Only the growth takes place in certain specific parts. When growth takes place, the size and weight of the body both increase. Such growth occurs inside the body. There is no growth in non-living things as there is in living things. Let us try to understand this through an experiment. Take an alum crystal and crush it into a powder. Add this powder to a glass of water. Stir the water till the powder dissolves in the water. Then add some more of the powder and dissolve it. Keep adding alum till the alum stops dissolving and begins to settle at the bottom. Now heat the water in the glass, and when the alum dissolves, add some more alum powder again. Keep doing this till no more alum powder dissolves in the water. Now allow the water in the glass to cool. Take a wire ring and tie a piece of thread to it. Hang the ring inside the glass as shown in the figure. After a week, take out the ring carefully. Observe its color and size. As alum crystals have grown on the ring looks white and has grown somewhat in size. Now, break the crystals. You will see the wire ring again. Means the wire did not grow by itself. It looked bigger only because of the alum crystals. Let's try this. Take half a cup of water. Add a spoonful of moth beans to it. Observe what happens after 5 hours. The moth beans are seen swollen. How much water is left in the cup? The level of water has been reduced. What is the difference in the size of the moth beans? The size of the moth beans has been increased. Why did this happen? Because the moth beans have absorbed the water from the cup. Let us try one more experiment. Take the arc indicator from the laboratory. Take a small potted plant. Tie one end of a string lightly to the tip of the plant's stem. Pass the string over the pulley of the arc indicator. Tie a weight to the other end of the string, which will just keep the string taut. Note the position of the indicator's pointer. After 4 days, note the position of the pointer again. The pointer has moved further along the scale from the first position. The thread moves upwards because of the growth at the tip of the stem. Hence, the pulley turns, making the pointer attached to it moves along the scale. It means that the increase in the height of the plant is registered on the scale of the arc indicator. Thus, the growth in plant is seen. We all breathe or respire. Respiration is an important characteristic of all living things. Respiration goes on continuously in all living things. Respiration does not occur in non-living things. Every living thing needs oxygen for respiration. Through their nose, animals like rats, bullocks, human beings take in oxygen from the air into their bodies and give out carbon dioxide gas. Plants carry out this process through tiny pores on some of their parts. Let us now study about reproduction in living things. Animals like the dog, cat, horse, mouse, and cow give birth to their young ones. Animals like snakes, tortoises, hens, crows, sparrows, and cuckoos first lay eggs. When eggs hatch, the young ones come out from them. Jamuns grow on a jamun tree. The jamun seed takes root in the soil and a jamun tree grows from it. Many seedlings grow from the dried flower of a marigold plant. A living thing produces another living thing like itself. This is called reproduction. Have you ever seen that all plants and animals in the surroundings have come to an end? No. Will a bicycle, stone, pen give birth to a new bicycle, stone, or pen? No. Non-living things do not reproduce. Excretion. Processes in animal bodies such as digestion of food result in the production of many waste substances which are of no use for the nourishment of the body. They are passed out as waste matter by certain organs. The process of passing out waste substances from the body is called excretion. In plants, in the process of producing food, a number of other substances are also formed. The plants do not need these substances for their own nourishment. They pass out such substances as waste materials. Plants excrete in the form of vapor. The stems of plants like the babool, neem or drumstick secrete gum. This too is a waste material passed out by them. Death. Generally, growth takes place in the early part of the life of a living thing. When their growth is complete, living things become capable of reproduction. Later on, their organs become weaker and weaker. Eventually, their life processes cease. In other words, they die. Death occurs in all living things. The life of a plant or animal is limited. The lifespan or the period for which they live is different in different plants and animals. Some plants live for many years. Some have short lifespans. Let us look at the lifespan of some animals. Life of a housefly is 1 to 4 months. Lifespan of a dog is 16 to 18 years. Ostrich's lifespan 50 years and the lifespan of an elephant is 70 to 90 years. We see some buildings which were built centuries ago. However, the people who built them are no longer alive. In other words, non-living things do not die as living things do. A cellular structure, movement, responsiveness to stimuli, growth, respiration, reproduction, excretion, and death are the main characteristics of living things. These characteristics are not found in non-living things.